Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I want to call to order. Oh. Everybody, please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody, please be seated. All right. Let's go ahead and conduct a roll call. District 1. District 2. Present. District 3.
Present.
District 4. Present. District 5. Present. District 6.
Present.
District 7.
We don't
Dis-
have any.
yeah. District 8.
Present.
Mayor.
Present and accounted for.
We all present and we have quorum. We'll go to the second item, discussion actions to approve minutes for July 17, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve. Second.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? All right, minutes has been approved. Third item on the agenda, citizens period, comments period, individuals is limited to 3 minutes. The first up is, who's the first one? Okay. 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 So we're gonna go ahead and move to item number 4. Item number 4, VA Health Care Clinic update. Okay.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Can you all hear me? Just a thumbs up. You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. Great. I do see Mr. Amin there. I apologize, Mr. Amin, there if I'm taking your thunder here from you. So, but please correct me if I say anything wrong, okay? All right. Again, good morning, everybody. Thank you for the invitation here this morning to speak with you all. So just a couple of just some updates that I want to share with you all. We do have a Veteran Tele Town Hall coming up on September 4th from 5 to 6 p.m. And this will be for our entire healthcare system. So not a specific CBOC or anything like that. This will be for all of our veterans that utilize the El Paso healthcare system. So please encourage everybody to take that phone call when you get that. Also, I'm going to keep putting a plug in for this every time I get to speak, is we do have a Veterans Extended Hours Clinic here at the main facility. And those after-hour clinics starts at 4:30, and it's going to go up to about 7:30 p.m. Monday through Friday here, again, at our main facility on Piedras Street here. So really encourage veterans out there that have just, the sniffles, something, throat hurts, stomach hurts, something, please come on in. No appointment needed. It is on a walk-in, first come, first served basis. We are doing this as kind of a pilot for us here, and we're trying to see if this is something we'd like to either invest more in, or if we have to cut back on, depending if we get veterans utilizing this. And really, the big thing on this one is really, a lot of our veterans are working veterans, and so it's harder for them to maybe get off, during the business hour days. And so we really wanted to offer this. And if we do get the necessary demand for this, we will absolutely look into extending it even further, or increasing the number of providers, or maybe even going into the weekends if we do find that our veterans find that this service is absolutely useful to them, or they find that it's working out for them. Right now we do not have X-ray laboratory available for this. But again, if we keep getting the demand, and if I see that demand, we will absolutely invest in being able to do those additional ancillary services there. And if a veteran does need, say, a prescription, again, we don't have the pharmacy available there, but we do have community care network pharmacies that will be available to our veterans if, say, our provider during that extended hours clinic says, hey, here's the medication that you may need. All right. Another update is our new healthcare center. Just really want to say that we're going on pace and schedule and budget at this time. So we do really see that going forward, and in the next several years, you'll keep seeing more and more progress. If right now, if you drive by the William Beaumont there on the loop there, you'll see that a lot of the steel has been going up. We're actually looking to top off our steel there in the next month to 2 months here to get that last piece of steel up, and then they'll start a lot of the interior thing work. So got to visit it last week, and again, great progress from the team there, and we absolutely look forward to our veterans of El Paso being able to utilize that new healthcare center in the near future. And then just one last thing, we do have a whole, this isn't necessary for a service that's happening here in El Paso, but we are going to have a whole health summit in Las Cruces actually tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Doña Ana Community College East Campus. We did one about maybe 3 months ago out in the Beast Rec Center in the East Side, and we got a lot of veterans that came in for that Saturday program for that whole health summit. But really invite folks, if you are out in Las Cruces or out in the West Side and want to go up, that's tomorrow for the whole health summit, again at 1 to 4 p.m. at the Doña Ana Community College East Campus. With that, I leave it all to you two if you have any questions for me.
Sir, George Elsesser,
Yes, sir.
District 5. Can you repeat, there's a phone call survey, is that what you said, on the 4th of September?
Oh, sorry, that is our veteran tele town hall. It's
Oh,
our normal monthly
okay,
tele
thank you.
town hall. Yes, sir, from 5 to 6 p.m. And you should be getting that phone call if you are registered with a phone number with us.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? You're welcome.
I have a question. Sir, I have a question. This is Brian Kainoff. I represent District 1. Is there been any conversation about naming the facility?
Are we talking about the new facility, sir?
Yes, the Houston facility is named after, the big Houston VA hospital is named after Michael DeBakey, the heart surgeon.
Yeah.
I wondered if any thought has been given to naming our hospital rather than it just having the generic VA, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. Yeah, and the way it actually works there, and I actually got to speak with our Congresswoman Escobar about that the other day there, and I do see Ms. Harcrow and Ms. Donna there too, and were in that conversation where, it actually starts at the local grassroots level, not necessarily at my level at the hospital. It's at the grassroots level where the community gets together and nominates a name, and then it will go to a congressional office. So in this case, our congressman in that case, our congressman or Congresswoman Escobar, her office would then actually sponsor a bill that would go to Congress and get voted on to naming any VA facility actually. So it starts grassroots, and then you go to your congressional office, who will then be the sponsor or the author of that amendment or whatever. I'm not sure. I think that's what you call it, an amendment to a bill that will actually get voted on at the congressional level to name a facility.
Well, thank you for that information. Omar Bradley, General of the Army, is a good one for me. he was, well, no, he was, no, he passed away here. He passed away here, and he was treated at the VA hospital as well as Beaumont. So
Yes, sir.
I just don't want to be surprised by something that doesn't make any sense, which happens, unfortunately, every now and then.
Yeah, and that's why our congressman told us that it has to start at the grassroots level with you all to come up with a consensus of a name that her and her office can be the author of and supporter of when it gets to the full House of Representatives.
I'll be keeping my eyes out for that. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir, for the question.
Okay, is there any more questions for the VA?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I do, Melissa Harcrow. Sir, good morning. Can you please share quickly about the Women Veteran Peer Group that's available at the VA?
Yeah, well, I don't have the details on that, Ms. Harcrow. I apologize, but I can get that back to you. Like, I don't have the times.
That's okay,
for that
sir.
Right off of.
I brought the
Yeah, I
flyer,
apologize.
actually. to share, but
Okay.
I know it started June 26. It's every Thursday at 10 a.m. at the South Central Seabach. That's located at 350 Revere Street. I have a point of contact here. Apparently, it's very easy. You can either get a referral through your primary care manager or contact the point of POC on this flyer, and you can just come. I think it's kind of held private, so it's not like you can just walk in and go
Yeah.
into the group. That's the
It's
way I
kind of like,
understand it.
Yeah, like a lot of our different support groups that we have, like that, where we ask that please get a referral from one of your healthcare team members, and gladly that the team will then take it and be able to schedule into that group. But thank you for advertising that. I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir. And then my other question, which I asked you at the roundtable, but I wanted to ask here in the public
Sure.
forum, is regarding childcare at the VA facilities.
Yeah.
Childcare was identified last year with the VA's report on barriers to women veterans accessing the VA's healthcare system. And it was recommended that childcare either be provided or reimbursed. And can you share with us that status?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah. It's an unfortunate thing right now. What I have to report on this one is that it has been halted as of March of 2025. Our new administration has put a pause on that because, like Ms. Harkar was saying, what the VA was tasked to do the last couple of years was to look into the two models, whether we were going to build a child care center at a VA, which is a little bit harder and probably 99% of the VAs just due to space. But the other model was to do a reimbursement model, which is what El Paso was going to do. But again, we had a memo that came from our secretary's office in March of 2025 saying that is on pause at this time and will be reevaluated. I don't think it's a necessarily a no for going forward. I think right now what we've been seeing in the VA as a trend right now is there's been a lot of pauses on different programs and a lot of evaluation that's happening above me and above even at my regional level that's in Dallas. And we hope to expect, some results of what our new administration is going to allow us or tell us what our priorities are going to be. But right now it is on pause for the reimbursement of childcare. But hoping to get a little bit more information as our VA Secretary's office puts out more things in the upcoming fiscal year. That's coming relatively soon here in October 1st. We hope to get a little bit more information on that. Thank you for that question.
Yes, thank you.
Just a comment on that. I know that the Armed Forces YMCA, I don't know if they fund or if William Beaumont funds them going to their primary clinics and also going to the William Beaumont, but we did talk about maybe them sharing that, but I'm just curious who funds that, because that would probably answer a lot of questions. Because if it's the Armed Forces YMCA, then I think that would be a solution.
Yeah, Ms. Donna, I'm not aware of who funds that, but that is going to be put on my next agenda with Colonel Gray, commander over there, during our monthly meeting. Yeah, because I'm not quite sure how that gets funded. I know it doesn't definitely come from the VA, but I'm not sure if it's from the DHA budget, from the Defense Health Agency, or like you said, that other entity that might be paying for that.
That would come from the ASYMCA, right? It's their.
For the children's waiting room, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
funded privately through donations
Yeah, and so the
to
issue
the
with that.
ASYMCA.
Right, so that issue is they're subject to funding, and then at any time, they can probably say, we're just going to keep it active duty and not include the veterans, so
There
that's
was talk
the
of
issue.
expanding that, though, to
Yeah.
veterans. I don't know where that is, though.
Yeah.
So I got something to add to that. So Jerry Jacobitz, he runs the center over there, and he told me in the past that he has opened it to veterans. So the veterans are able, even employees for the VA can take advantage of it. Because we did the baby shower at the center a few months ago, and he said that he's more than welcome to any space available for veterans or employees of the VA that would like to take part of that. Because right now he has openings that are available.
Because when we were at the Congresswoman's roundtable, we were thinking maybe, since the VA is going to be across the street from William Beaumont, that would be an avenue right there. Thank you.
Yes, but the thing is, as I mentioned, that they're subject to funding, and at any time, they don't have to keep it open to veterans, you know, so it's not permanent, so that's the thing, is it really shouldn't be on the AYMCA, it should be the VA. You know, they've identified this as a barrier to access to health care, primarily for women veterans. The VA should be the ones to provide that solution. So right now, that's great that the Armed Services YMCA is providing that, and I've been referring women veterans to them, but we can't count on it as long-term. That's the only caveat I have for that.
That's good, Melissa. Anybody else got any questions for the VA at this time? Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thanks. Moving right along to item number 5, Paso County update, Antoinette Hunt. Oh, sir. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Barnes. Tony Gretz, she couldn't be here today. She's working some grant issues, and she does want me to remind everybody that there is grant money available for our veterans and their families out there. She can go through their office, the VSO. She'd be more than glad to work with them. Also, we're open right now is our Veteran of the Year, our nominations. All right? We are anxiously ready to replace, no, we're not. We're not replacing anybody. We're adding to the team. All right? As we know, Debo and her battle buddies have formed with the judge's office, a Veteran of the Year alumni. So now we're not looking to replace anybody. We're looking to add to that team. We have great veterans out there. I talk to veterans every day, amazing veterans that would be awesome Veterans of the Year. Unfortunately, we can't nominate them because we're on the board. But I would put it on I would ask you kindly to take a look at your veterans around you. If you find someone that should be nominated as a Veteran of the Year, please take the time, do a write-up on them. Some of you need to run it through ChatGPT, all right? All right, and get that submitted on our website, all right? All right? James, I don't know why you're laughing, all right? But no, let's get those veterans recognized. We have our service members out there, young men and women out there that served their country, raised their hands, said, send me. And they never took their hand down when they retired. They still serving their country, serving their community, serving veterans and their families out there. So we ask that you take that time and recognize their efforts. Is there any questions for the county? Is there anything from our Veteran of the Year?
What's your deadline for nominations?
I appreciate you. They open 15 August, and thank you for asking, and it closes 30 September. And around the mid to end of the month of October, we will make that, go into the voting process and identify that Veteran of the Year.
Well, we're saying also, Debo Wakefield here, Veteran of the Year, also on the back. Make sure that whatever entity they belong to, i.e. if they're a Boy Scout, Girl Scout, if they're in church, if they're at a dog kennel volunteering, we need everything. We just don't want they're a good veteran. They do good in the community. That does not hold water. We need meat and potatoes. So we need what that veteran has done, male or female. We need every person. If you belong to anything, every person should write a letter of recognition for you. That's how you get elected. If you do stuff out of the state, you need to know that. Let that person that you're doing it for out of state. I go internationally, Honduras. That was one of my gigs. I go a week and do surgery for poor people. So if you're doing things, I ride a motorcycle, Buffalo Soldiers. I keep the history alive. Things like that, you have to have people identify what you're doing so that you can get all of that recognition totally, not just you're a good veteran and you help at a food drive. We need everything that you absolutely do in your community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you say young men?
I said,
Mike,
Ma'am,
you said the young men, they retire and they continue doing work in the community?
I don't think so.
No?
I can say it if you want.
No, I was just asking because I didn't.
she wants to
Yeah.
No. Soldier, a veteran, I don't put a sex on them, all right? The young men and women out there, every day, they're doing God's work.
Yeah. I just want to be
Right.
sure we're
No,
inclusive.
nice try.
get him.
And you're right, that's a good point. No, you don't have to be a retired veteran. A veteran's a veteran's a veteran. All right, we see them every day. I don't care if you're a man, woman, I don't care who you are. A veteran is a veteran, and we thank you for your service. We just want to recognize those efforts and on behalf of the County of El Paso, say thank you and identify those efforts as nominating you as the Veteran of the Year.
And you cannot replace me. I'm irreplaceable. However, you do not have to do every single thing that I did because I set the bar for myself. That's how much self-pride that I have for my community, my state, and myself as a person.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Come 15 October, she's getting replaced though.
I
So
am.
the new Veteran of the Year.
Please come take it.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys. No, thanks. And Melissa, my apologies if it came across indifferent than other than, all right?
Well, it's my job to call it out, so you know I
You
will.
gotta do better. You gotta do better than that.
You gotta
got
be
the wrong guy.
prepared.
Okay.
right.
Anybody got any more questions for the county?
Thanks, guys.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we'll move to item number 6, discussions, community updates, endeavors. That is Ishmael? Okay, Ebony? Okay. We got 3 of them in here, huh?
Luther, I have a question regarding this item and item number 7. Clearly, there's a difference, but can you quickly explain it real quick?
Yes, so this was the information that was given to me of who was going to
okay.
present at the time when it was already, and then the slides were given to me after, and the breakdown was given to me after, so.
Okay, so it's
On the
two
minutes, this
different.
will be, yeah,
Okay, thank you.
of course, yeah, you'll see.
All right, Eb.
Only my family calls me Eb. Okay, there we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Ebony Super. I'm a Master's Social Work intern at Endeavors. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a couple of services and life skills that Stephen Cohen and Endeavors offer. Who we help? We, at Endeavors and Cohen, we help any veteran, regardless of their status while they were in uniform and their discharge status, and their family members. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. through 7 p.m., and Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I have the current location on Montana, but as of September 22nd, we will be seeing patients at our new location, the New Wellness Center on Pebble Hills. We are a short-term model, meaning that we do 8 to 12 sessions weekly. New intake must be completed per presenting issue. We are, I'm sorry, I updated some slides, so I'm familiar with this one, but it's not the slide that I was expecting. But based on the top 5 diagnoses that we see, which are PTSD, trauma, sleep disorders, anxiety, and depression, these are some of the treatment options that we have. We also will see singles, couples, families, and children. The 2 specific treatment options that I want to speak about today are cognitive behavioral therapy, and that is, and the next one will be on the next slide, but cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is done in 10 to 12-week sessions. It targets depression and anxiety. It'll focus on problem solving through helping our veterans or their family members through coping skills, relaxation techniques, mindfulness. It'll also help the client to identify unhelpful thinking patterns and their behaviors. The other therapy that I specifically want to talk about is exposure therapy. It is done in 12 sessions. It helps to process traumatic events by exposing the client to that trauma. As you can see here, so if I was afraid of spiders, then I'll be introduced to spiders. I want everyone to know that this is done in a very safe environment, and we will teach our clients relaxation techniques to process that trauma. Yeah, that's the last resort. Right, like if they don't want to process, that's what we'll do. But no, it's a safe environment because we don't want to re-victimize or re-traumatize anyone. For our non-clinical care, we offer guitar cadence, and that's done by Ismael. The classes for guitar cadence, which is a guitar lesson, will start September. We have Warriors Palette, that's done at the Elks Lodge every first and third Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. For our psychoeducational groups, we have the Parenting Project, which is a nurturing approach to teach parents on just getting through the challenges of being a parent. We also have anger management. I think that goes without saying, but I'll say that is going to help our clients process anger, identify the root cause of that, and other ways to cope rather than outbursts of anger. All of our classes and psychoeducational groups are open to the community. They are free unless otherwise specified. And there's also volunteer opportunities for anyone who wants to come out and help teach a class. For our admin notes, we will provide transportation to and from the client's home to any of their appointments. We just need it 24 hours in advance, so just call the office, the front office, and they will arrange that via Uber for you. And then we offer childcare also, but we ask children under 10, don't leave them in the waiting room unattended. If there are no questions, thank you everyone for your time, and that concludes my presentation. Yes, ma'am.
Just so that everyone, because the veterans and other community members listen to this often later, or they could be online now, when they're acute or coming out of a hospital stay, I know that you guys can't accept them right away, but you will after they do like a PHP or an IOP or a virtual, once they step down, correct?
Give me one moment. I am an intern.
Oh, sorry.
That is correct.
That is correct, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, because, I mean, the studies show that when somebody's been hospitalized, they're more at risk of relapse. So that's why an intensive 5-day, 3-day, or an intensive virtual is so critical. So if anyone's listening out there in the community, there are step-down processes that help you make sure you never relapse. And thank you for what you do.
Okay, and thank you for having me. I will add that to the next presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ebony. So, Ishmael, the former Veteran of the Year.
Good morning to everybody. Thank you guys for having me here. I'm going to present to you guys some slides on our new facility that's getting ready to open up mid-September. It's called the Endeavors Health and Wellness Center. And there we go. It's been 4 years in the making, but we're ready to move in. All right. So Endeavors passionately serves vulnerable people in crisis through our innovative and personalized approach. That's always been our mission. We try to help those vulnerable populations with personalized case management, mental health, wellness services, and also in sheltering services. Our target population has grown. So most of you have known me for a while. The core program that Endeavors has had in the community for the past 9 years has been the Cohen Clinic. That has been here since 2017, and we service active duty veterans, their families, the Guard and the Reserve. But we're now looking at also serving first responders and their families. We also help people facing homelessness, and we help communities recovering from disasters, survivors of domestic violence, and children in crisis, including those in foster care, young adults aging out of foster care too. As I mentioned, the Cohen Clinic has been here since 2017. In 2020, we established our Veteran Supportive Services to house homeless veterans. We have homeless prevention services. We're servicing Customs Border Protection Workforce Readiness Program, Victims of Crime Assistance Program, and Disaster and Critical Incident Shelter Support since COVID. So our our new center that's getting ready to open is just down the street from William Beaumont. It's a 15-minute drive, 20 minutes from Fort Bliss. We're right on the loop. There will be a lot of community space, some common areas that people can have access to, medical and wellness support, mental health counseling, offices and professional services, as well as a fitness center available, fully adapted to any wounded warrior. Our fitness center, again, will be providing yoga, HIIT classes, Zumba, and other functional fitness offerings like a TRX system that will be in place there. We will have personal training, guided group individual meditation, mindfulness coaching, Reiki, breath work, and there will be also a relaxation room available. As I mentioned, Endeavors is going to be in this facility, but it is enormous. It's a little over 45,000 square feet, I believe, but Endeavors won't be the only one housed in that facility. We are leasing office space to other community partners that will be supporting our mission here, such as the Cohen Clinic. We will have our SSVF program there. University of El Paso will be using our facility. Wounded Warrior Project's looking at finalizing a lease there for us as well. Employment assistance and our Customs and Border Protection Workforce Readiness Program will be there, among a lot of other services. And again, if anybody would like a more in-depth sort of presentation on who we're looking to bring on board, please feel free to reach out to me. But again, these are just some of the services that will be available there, like chiropractic care. We're working with the El Paso VA to hopefully put an enrollment office there, massage therapy, psychiatry, and primary care. Our grand opening is scheduled for November 13th, and this is everybody's invite. We'll be posting that on social media and emailing out more announcements coming soon. Again, we are getting ready to be operational by mid-September, but looking to host our grand opening on November 13th. Does anybody else have any questions?
Do you know what the physical address is for your facility?
Yes, sir. So we are located on the corner of Pebble Hills and Joe Battle. Our physical address is 12135 Pebble Hills Boulevard, 79936.
I have a question, Melissa Harcrow.
Yes.
You mentioned you have assistance for victims of crimes. Who do you all get that training from?
Oof. As far as training goes, I'm not certain. That's a whole program that is available for the community, but it's, I'm not sure.
So what exactly is the assistance?
Yeah, sure. So we have a shelter for women escaping domestic violence, substance use,
Okay.
those sort of things. And I'm not too keen on the details, but I know it's a really large facility that we can place women escaping violence.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
had I don't like looking at myself on there, a presentation, I think it was two months ago, or maybe last month, from National Office of Victim Advocacy, I think that's what it's called, NOVA, and they have a division or program specifically for victims, military-related victims of stalking, sexual assault, I mean, everything you could think of probably, but as long as they're military connected, maybe that would be a good resource for you all, because they do provide free training, and they're great advocates for military-connected survivors.
Awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. I'd be happy to connect with you after this and get that information over to the program manager for that shelter.
Okay, great. And
Yeah.
my other question is, can we get the slides for this?
Yeah, absolutely. I can, well, Luther has it, so.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have a question. At the Veterans Treatment Court with the county, there are different requirements that they have to go through when there's been domestic violence or when there's been anger management. And just recently, I heard that they have to be certified through certain organizations and a way to be able for them to be utilized through the VTC. So if you could just huddle with Yvonne Whitaker and make sure that So that way, if you do open it up and they can attend, that it's under their required certification or course, just so that all of a sudden you're ready to go and we can't use you because of A, B, or C. So do you mind huddling with her on just the requirements for the domestic violence or the anger management?
Absolutely, Donna, and maybe you could maybe help me coordinate that meeting?
Sure.
I haven't had much luck with coordinating meetings
Okay.
through that program. But I know that when we first opened, that was one of the initial conversations we had with the treatment court, and we all got certified in anger management to provide those classes for free to the veterans, but it never really worked out. Not really sure what the disconnect was, but we continue to offer that course for free for veterans. So happy to meet with Yvonne or the judge, whoever.
Okay, I'll help, because that was an issue just recently for which and where they go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Ishmael?
Yeah.
Paul?
Hey, Paul Albright, Chief Military Officer for the record. Which VAC members have already had a tour of the Wellness Center? Just Ron? Okay. Perhaps we can make that happen. I know you're still doing some VIP tours.
Absolutely.
But I think the best approach to do this is to go and invite the actual city council member. And then when we lock in that date, you'll go with your city council member so that we get more exposure than just the VAC member, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. We can help set those up too. So if you just want to start with District 1 and go all the way down, I don't know which ones you've already done. I know you've done the mayor's office, but I don't know if any other city council members have gotten an invite to do a tour.
No, it does get complicated putting everybody on the same schedule, right? Right now, we do have Commissioner Butler from the county and the VAB for next week, I believe. But yes, Tuesday. But I'm happy to work with Luther and get that coordinated for the city.
Yeah, the only thing is we got to make sure we don't meet a quorum. So if you have more than 4 that go trying to do that at the same time, then I believe we'll have to put in a special meeting of the VAC and post it for you guys all to go at the same time. So,
Yeah,
am I
thank you.
right there, Attorney?
Yes, that's correct. So it's just easier just to, space out your visits. That's the easiest way to do it.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, and just for reference, tours are being held Monday through Friday between 9 and 2. So if anybody does want to come, well, Luther will get the information and be happy to host everybody, give you guys a quick walk around. It's an amazing facility. It is a lot different when you actually see it in person than when you get a briefing, but happy to help. Yeah.
You did say 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, couple minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you use your mic, please? Thank you.
Has anyone from the VA attended or did the tour for Endeavor's new facility?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have had the leadership at the VA walk through. We are in conversations with them to hopefully lease out some space there. But we're going through the motions with that. Nothing in stone yet, but we are working with the VA to hopefully get them in there.
Has the new director attended? Do you know Mr.
Well,
Riello?
Mr. Riello went, and then right now we're working with Ms. Tracy and her team. Yeah.
Any more questions at this time? Okay, thank you, Ishmael.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody give him a round of applause. All right, moving to item number 8, discussion monthly updates from the VAC subcommittee chairs. First up is employment.
Good morning, Melissa Hartcrow, Chair of the Employment Subcommittee. We met on August 14th. So a reminder that effective September 1st, 2 bills will be in effect from the Texas Legislature, HB 5629, relating to the occupational licensing of military service members, military veterans, and military spouses. The summary says that it expands licensing eligibility for this group without reading the full bill. That's all I've got. And the other bill is SB 1818, relating to the issuance of a license or provisional license to certain military service members, veterans, and military spouses to engage in a business or occupation in this state. So the summary is that it's a 6-month temporary licensing and certification process for the military members and their spouses who are assigned to military installations, and they're waiting for a letter of good standing from another authority. So wherever they came from, they're allowed to get a temporary license here in the state until they can get the information they need from their previous state so they can be licensed in Texas. So that's just a long way of saying that. So we have ongoing with the city of El Paso, and I can't even remember who else is involved, the Veteran Business Connect. So we've been meeting, yes, EPCC, so we've been meeting to put on an event, and right now we're looking at early November. I won't put out the date because I don't think that's concrete just yet. It's meant to connect those who are either have a business right now or interested in owning a business, learn a little bit about entrepreneurship. I won't go more into it because I'm not an entrepreneur, and I might have an MBA, and knowing what I know, I would never own a business. So so I'm just sharing that with you, but it's coming up, so be on the lookout for that. Workforce Solutions Borderplex now has funds for childcare. So I did bring some flyers, but applications for childcare enrollment are now open. And let's see, the Pride Hiring Fair was July 25th. I did attend with my employer, and it was very well attended. There were a lot of veterans, military spouses, et cetera, there, and I'm going to reach out to the point of contact, see if maybe they mind sharing with me what came out of that, maybe how many veterans and spouses went, and maybe how many they hired. I know they don't have to share it, but I figure what's the harm in asking, because I am curious. Sun City Welding, I only learned of this afterwards, but they had an event in July looking for welders to fill in a bunch of positions that are coming up, I think in the Permian Basin. And they do actually provide training for welding. They have financial assistance. I didn't see on their website if they take VA benefits. But I think it's a great resource. I'd never heard of them. And according to them, it's welding is very high in demand. So if that's something you're interested, they're very easy to find on the website. I wanted to share also in regards to childcare, excuse me, if you are a nonprofit that provides services to veterans right now, or you're interested in it and you're looking to apply for a grant from the Texas Veterans Commission, their general assistance grant does allow for childcare reimbursement for veterans. So if you didn't know that, now you do. And when you apply for your grant, I would encourage you to include that as well, because it's very much needed all across the state, but here, I think also here in El Paso, especially when we're talking about employment. And then let me just take a quick look at my notes, make sure I didn't forget anything. I do have upcoming announcements, but I'll wait till the item on the agenda. But thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Melissa. Do anybody have any questions for Melissa for employment? Okay, moving right along to homelessness. And I think, Don, you have a presentation by John Martin?
Yeah, that's correct. I'll be handing my time over to Mr. John Martin.
Thank you, sir.
He'll be having a small presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is John Martin. I'm the Deputy Director with the Opportunity Center for the Homeless, and I thank you for allowing us to come here today. I've got two subjects that I'd like to address with you, one of which is the preliminary results for the recent surge event that was coordinated through the VA, and the second of which is to give you an update of the work that we are doing through the Opportunity Center with our veteran population. And speaking of the latter, I'd like to introduce two people that you may not be familiar with. They are our program leads, and that includes behind me Mr. Curtis Hudson, who is in charge of our Veterans Transitional Living Center. And then to his left or right, I'm not facing them, is Mr. Thomas or Tommy Rabetta, who is in charge of our Veterans Shelter. So these are some faces that I hope you get to know a little bit better as we go forward in the near future. So thank you. I'd like to start with a brief update on the Opportunity Center for the Homeless. as it relates to our work that is specific to the veterans. And please forgive me, I tend to be a note taker, so as you were speaking, I kept adding to my notes. So if I get a little bit long-winded, just tell me to shut up, and we'll go forward from there. Okay? But I think you will find it of interest if you look at the Opportunity Center as a whole. In 2023, we worked with 450 unique veterans that were homeless. In 2024, we saw that number drop to 371, which, if my math is correct, that's about a 17% reduction. If I look at the first 6 months of 2025, we're already at 240. So if the trends continue, we will be at roughly 480 by the end of the calendar year, which represents a 30% increase over 2023 and roughly a 7% increase, I'm sorry, the other way around, a 30% increase over 2024 and roughly a 7% increase over 2023. I believe there's a number of reasons as to why this is occurring. One of which is that we have made a concerted effort in recent months to enhance our engagement-related services with regard to homeless veterans. What we have done, because we have limited capacity within the two facilities, the Veterans Transitional Living Center as well as the Veterans Shelter, between the two programs, we have a total of 40 beds. In August of 2022, our newest program, which is the Welcome Center that's located on the north of 9th and Oregon, and within the past year, through the efforts of a gentleman that many of you know by the name of Gene Roberts, along with Bill Irvin that runs the shelter, I have to come up with a better term, but we have created a waiting area within the Welcome Center for our veterans so that we do not lose engagement. Because if somebody walks in the door and we simply don't have capacity, then we lose them. And this is illustrated because I looked at the veterans served just specific for the Welcome Center, and this, I think, illustrates the point. 2023, in the Welcome Center, we worked with a total of 9 veterans. 2024, that number increased to 54, and in just the first 6 months of this year, that number is now 92. So that illustrates the need for that additional capacity as we relate to the unhoused veterans within our community. And it's further illustrated when we look at what just recently occurred on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st of July through the VA surge. Now, this was an event that was led by the VA. It was mandated by the VA, and they had a very short window in which to accomplish this. And so in our discussions, we came up with a novel idea. What you may not know is that back in 2022, the city of El Paso, through the Department of Community and Human Development, developed what we call the El Paso Helps Initiative. The 3 primary funded entities under that initiative include ourselves at the Opportunity Center for the Homeless, Amistad, as well as United Way of El Paso County. It was that funding, which was ARPA or Treasury dollars, that allowed us to create the Welcome Center that is now located at the 9th and Oregon. The intent of El Paso Helps was to bring the providers together under one umbrella. And this has been accomplished, so much so that we've outgrown our initial meeting. We meet every 2 weeks, and we do what we refer to as case conferencing. So in other words, it is specific to the individual. And just to make up names, if I'm working with Jim Smith and we're trying to locate him, we as a collaborative do our very best to be able to locate the individual. Originally, our meetings every 2 weeks, no more than 10 people, typically 4 providers. If you join us, which you're welcome to do so, the next meeting is actually a week from today at 9 o'clock. It's on the 17th floor of what I refer to as the Blue Flame Building for those of us that have lived here for most of our lives. Okay? We now have over 18 providers. In addition to the providers, we have the El Paso Police Department and we have the El Paso Fire Department, all with a common goal. and that is to work within the unhoused within our community. And the reason I bring that up, because I think it's important to set the context of what the city has done and continues to do, is that it was the El Paso Helps Initiative, not the Opportunity Center, not Amistad, not United Way, that said, look, if we are going to do a surge event for the community to identify homeless veterans within our community, let's expand it beyond the veteran population. That's what occurred on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. And to give you some preliminary results, and just to let you know that we will be meeting next week to develop an after-action report, and we'll be more than happy to share that information with you once it's done. Over a 3-day period, we took the city of El Paso and we carved it into 6 unique geographic areas, all of which were defined by the El Paso Police Department regional command centers, of which we have a total of 6. We took 2 of those geographic areas, or 2 of the areas surrounding the command centers per day. So we took 2 on the 29th, 2 on the 30th, and 2 on the 31st. We had over 85 volunteers. Not just volunteers, but community. And we did that intentionally so that we can share the story of the home free within our community with people that don't interact with them on a day-to-day basis. We encountered, over a 3-day period, 313 unhoused individuals. And we will be the first ones to tell you that we think we maybe got halfway there. We believe the numbers are much greater and that a more significant, consistent, more frequent effort is required to do this. Of the 157, of the 313, we were able to do assessments for 157, so that's a little over half. Based on the assessments, we have 13 unhoused veterans, which would be 8.3% of the 157. However, we also intentionally debriefed each and every team as they came in. And if you look at the notes from the debriefing, that number is actually twice that, at 27, or 17.2%. We also asked some very specific questions because we wanted to get an idea of their characteristics. And this is something that I think should concern you, for it concerns me. The average age of our unhoused veteran population is 60. If I compare that to the non-veteran population, their average age is 46. So you see a stark contrast between the two as we work through it. So the reality of it is that we do a point-in-time count as a community each and every January. And based upon the numbers that I heard for January of 2025, because it's typically the 3rd week of every January when that point-in-time count does, those numbers have typically ranged within the past few years between 150 and 180. We as a community need to get a better handle on who's living on the streets. And that is no disrespect to the entity that oversees the point-in-time count, because by design, it's designed to be a snapshot. And so by doing this after-action report, our goal, and we all agree that we don't want this event to be a one-off event. The question is, do we do something as significant as what we did this year? And we were somewhat forced to because of the mandate through the VA, okay? Or do we take the community, divide it within the 6 geographical areas that we described, and maybe do one every 2 months? So those are the types of discussions that we will be having as we move forward. Now, the difficulty that we have at this point is that all of this effort, and you need to be cognizant of this, and this is how I'm going to close it. I hate to close on bad news, okay? Is funded as a result of Treasury and or ARPA dollars that came into our community as a result of COVID. Those funds expire in December of 2026. So for what we need to do for our neighbors within the community, come the latter part of 2026 or early 2027, we will not have the funding to do. We as a community have relied both at the municipal and at the county level based on the federal dollars that come into us. For the homeless in general, that's roughly $750,000. The last time I did the math, that's enough to care for the unhoused within our community for about 6 weeks. So if we're going to continue with this significant work that was illustrated through the El Paso Helps Initiative, through what is dubbed as the HEART Initiative, and I had to write it down, there's too many acronyms in this world, but HEART, which was a response from the city of El Paso and working with the West Side Regional Command, which has now been expanded to the other regional commands. Okay, Denise Sepúlveda, Ramon, there's a number of people here with the city, but it stands for Humanitarian Engagement Action Response Team. My question to each of you, unless we start getting creative and thinking outside of the box, can we continue to provide those services that are defined as humanitarian in nature in the absence of the funding that is needed to make it happen? Or are we as a community, and specific to the veteran population as well, going to go back to life as it was in 2019? Because the reason I use 2019 as a baseline, it's 2020 where everything started going crazy for us as a community. Initially with COVID, followed by the migrant influx. And now if you look at what's happening at the federal level, by definition, we simply don't know what is going to come down from Washington, D.C. as it relates to funding for the unhoused population within our community. And I'll take any questions that you have, and hopefully I wasn't too long-winded.
John, if you could please again state where people could locate you at, along with phone number or something of that nature, and what meetings could they attend if they would like to offer their assistance?
Actually, my staff or my colleagues indicate that I'm very hard to find because I tend to be more out than in. So the primary means of communicating with me is through my cell phone number, which is area code 915-231-8882. Many of you already have that number. Whether it's a compliment or a complaint, we get both directions as we come through it, okay? We're changing our phone system at the Opportunity Center, so I don't currently have an office number that I can give you. The new system goes into effect tomorrow, which is why I've been so cheap about printing new business cards until I get the new phone number at this point. My office is located at 1208 Myrtle Avenue, which is the main building associated with the Opportunity Center for the Homeless. I'm up on the 3rd floor, back in the corner, and you are welcome to drop by at any time. You also, if you've not had an opportunity to visit with Mr. Hudson or Mr. Rivetta as it relates to the Veterans Transitional Living Center and or the Veterans Shelter, and they're a half a block away from each other, okay? They're not far. I would invite you to come down for a cup of coffee, walk through the facilities. We're very proud of the Veterans Transitional Living Center. It was opened in 2023. It is a state-of-the-art building, and as of about 4, possibly 5 months ago, it is now solar powered. Okay. We are expanding, so if you do visit, please forgive the parking nightmare at this point. We currently have 10 houses. By this time next year, we will have 12 houses, and we will complete approximately $15 million of renovation work, which will add 165 beds to our facility. A portion of that $15 million, just under $4 million, was dedicated for the new Veterans Transitional Living Center that was opened in 2023. Any other questions?
I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
want to give a shout out for the wonderful work and the initiative you put behind the surge. And it's exciting for our homeless program to have this information and jump on board on all your committees. But and I also just want to give a shout out to the veterans that are listening and anyone that supports them, that the Elks Lodge was, along with some other community partner VSOs, starting September, October, November, December, once a month, we do a wonderful community connection. We all know that when people can get connected and they feel like they have purpose and they feel like that they belong to a community, you know, starting September, it's a fishing trip for all of your folks, and when we go down fishing that could never afford that experience. October is pumpkin carving. November, we get in there and we make them Thanksgiving and we sit down and have it with them. And then in December, we do stockings and gifts on Christmas Day. I invite anybody in the public that's watching or anybody at this committee to be a part of that. And thank you for allowing the community in, such as things like that. And I know you do a ton more than that. Thank you.
And you gave me a good avenue. Donna and I have had this conversation one-on-one. We are in the process of establishing an advisory board for our Veterans Initiative, and we will be reaching out to many of you. And for those that we may not have the contact information, if you're interested, please let me know. It will not be specific to the VTLC, but it will encompass all of the work. For example, the 480 veterans that we will potentially encounter in 2025. Any other questions?
I do. Hi, John.
Hello.
So I know you talked about trends, so we're looking at an increased trend this year, quite possibly, right? So, and I know that El Paso doesn't really, or at least you can correct me, I know I say I know, but El Paso doesn't have as far as we know, a very high population of homeless veterans with children, right? And break that down even further, we don't have very high population of women veterans with children who are homeless, right? But if we're anticipating a trend, it might be worth considering that as a possible, something we possibly approach, or what's the word I'm looking for? We interact with. And the reason I'm bringing it up too is because I just learned of a grant yesterday. Unfortunately, it is from the federal government, but I'm assuming that since they gave the briefing yesterday, and it was specific to veterans with children who are homeless, that maybe we're okay right now for it. I don't know, but it's called the HVRP, Homeless Veteran Reintegration Program Grant. And it's not just for childcare. I'm going to read it real quick what it provides. And excuse me, not Amistad. I saw that only the American GI Forum here in El Paso gets this grant. Out of everyone else that I know who provides services for the homeless population, and so they do provide costs for assistance for costs for transportation, uniforms, work attire, work-related tools, books, fees, supplies for jobs, training, fees for employment and training applications, tests and certifications, automobile repair, child care, dependent care assistance, housing assistance, and other reasonable and necessary costs. So I wonder if it's possible to perhaps apply for this grant in anticipation of, you know, the veterans that we're going to get, and what barriers they may individually have to accessing employment, childcare, et cetera.
I am familiar with the grant. I've looked at it in previous years. I haven't looked at it this year to see if there's been any significant changes. The one thing that will push us over the edge is if we approach that grant as a community. I mean, for example, I heard Borderplex Workforce Solutions mentioned earlier. They would be a partner in this type of endeavor. The one blessing that we have received out of COVID, followed by the migrant influx, is that the providers within our community now understand the value of working together. We had too much of a silo mentality prior to 2020. And I'm hoping that's the single blessing from those two events that will move forward and continue to expand and be enhanced in the near future. And so that's our predominant goal. But I'll reach out to you directly and let me take a look at it and see what we've got. I will tell you that our veteran shelter is co-ed, both male and female. Okay, so we do have the ability to house the single adult population regardless of gender. And I was asked by the VA to submit an amendment to our existing agreement for the VTLC so that it will also be co-ed. And I'll start that paperwork here within the next week to 2 weeks. It's pretty much a shoo-in because it's the VA locally that's asking me to do it. They have to bless it, and then it moves up, and it's just a change in the contract scope, and that's all it is at this point. We do pursue funds. For example, we currently have Cigna funds, which is a private foundation. And to give you an example, since March of this year, I just looked at my phone because I asked for that number from the gentleman running the program. We've already placed 16 veterans into housing, and that's with private dollars. I anticipate that will continue through obviously to the early part of next year. And in the past, we've been successful with the Texas Veterans Commission for similar funds. That opportunity just opened, and one of my coworkers is sitting in on the training that is taking place as we speak, okay, so that we can see if we'd like to get back in the mix with the Texas Veterans Commission. But we've been using those housing dollars, and we prioritize families with children. That is what the intent was behind them, because you're correct. There's very few resources that are available outside of folks like the Salvation Army and the Rescue Mission that work with families regardless of veteran status, but there's no designated resources for a veteran with dependents. And so we are looking at that option quite seriously. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you. I'm going to have to leave before your meeting ends. I do apologize. I'd love to stay here. I've learned quite a bit. But now I get to go meet with a group of pastors. So we'll see how that change works at this point. So take care and have a great day.
Thank you, John.
Thank you,
Give
John.
John a round of applause. All right, moving to Donna, mental health.
Okay, so in the packet that was left on your table is a format that I think Luther is going to discuss here in a little bit. But when you look at just the format that I had put the subcommittee report to the city council, I know, Mr. Cano, if you're not a fan of mission statements, and we can take that out or do that later, because I know in the past we've discussed that. But it pretty much is generic, and it advocates. But when you go down to current projects, it's not that we're going to ask the city council to do something about each one of those items. It's that we want them to be aware of those items. So whether we leave it in or take it out, I mean, you'll address how that goes moving forward. I did add some things from the Congresswoman, her roundtable. To that were mental health in nature, and I think it's important. They're not on here, but there was a big discussion about gender sensitivity when it comes to MST claims. I think that is going to be addressed, and they're going to take that very seriously through the VAB. Also, gender sensitivity has also already been addressed through the Veterans Treatment Court. It's kind of nice to know that you know, something that seems to be 80 or 90% males that come into there still was a need for a female compliance officer. There's still a need for, we currently have a female probation officer, so they are opening up a job in the county for a female compliance officer. So when a veteran is entangled into the justice system and going through the Veterans Treatment Court, they can have and be aware of that sensitivity in that area. There is, and I think this is important to know, if you're a veteran and you have a caregiver, there is some grant funds that allow for mental health. The Elizabeth Dole Foundation Hidden Heroes program has identified that, shared that with different stakeholders, and they're trying to get clarity on how to access that through the VA. And I know that the interim director of the VA was checking into that. Put that on your radar if you're also thinking like, my caregiver needs some mental health support. So that's going to be added. And I think that list of current projects is important for our commissioners to kind of just know what some of the issues are in the community. And when you look at the action plan, It basically shows the things that we can do things about. And of course, just this meeting alone being recorded on YouTube, the fact that each one of you know, but more importantly, the awareness that that there's a website that gives you all the information that you need to know, and that can, when you go to the city, there's a website that directs veterans to the resources. And I'm hoping we're collaborating with the VAB on that so that we can make sure one gets directed to one or the other, or collaborate on that. And that would be expanding our collaboration and partners. And there are programs when you look at identifying and sharing treatment gaps, and being an advocate for that. So the main thing I think that the commissioners can do is, with their marketing and promoting through the city health department, just expanding their campaign, also revitalizing the mental health component on the website is another thing that the commissioners can move forward with. And also the commissioners is really critical, plus all of us need to be aware of the current legislation efforts, and I actually highlighted those in there. I think the tax exemption issue, I mean, that probably doesn't really belong under the mental health, but when you think about financial crunches, finance and relationships and money are a big issue and a trigger. But when you look at the House bill, Senate bill, you should have a handout. And that one where it says that there has been approval for psychedelic research. It's important that you get behind that because it does treat PTSD. It does help with opioid addictions. I think that's critical when you're trying to look at being a voice. When you get a chance to be in front of people that can actually push things forward, whether it's the senator, the congresswoman's office, or any commissioner or city council person, it's important to be able to know the topics and be able, each and every single one of us, talk to your local government. When you take a look at Senate Bill 5, and it talks about that they're looking at banning the hemp, I think there's a lot of people out there using it for different mental health reasons, even medical reasons. I think it's critical to be aware of that, know it's in there. So we really pulled it out and just put it right in our mental health topic of conversation, because at the end of the day, if our city council gets this, they just need to go right to it and not have to go through a book of information. So the recommendations are there, and I think it's critical that we keep fine-tuning this. I know, Luther, you have a process where you want to decide how to crunch this and make it look similar to everyone else's city council report outs. And I don't know if you have any comments, but I do think that it kind of summarizes all of the issues. And if there's something that we missed that because this roundtable that we did with the Congresswoman was pretty interesting when you heard that, when someone does a claim for MST, whether it's a male or female, they're getting re-victimized by a claims person that has no experience to be able to understand how to be sensitive to asking certain questions, and many times it can open a wound that could cause, other mental health triggers and have them slip in a mental health way. So they're actually looking at that, and it's critical that there's trained people that have their eyes on that, and that we all understand that they don't have to report that to a claims person, because I know I'm the American Legion District Adjutant, and we have a claims officer right there. If that person's not trained on how to be sensitive and asking the wrong questions, it could be the very trigger that could cause somebody to reopen a wound that can take them into depression or anxiety or other things of that nature. So I don't know if anybody has any comments or questions. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Donna. We're going to go ahead on and move to item number 9, discussion and actions to update the agenda to all VAC members and their assigned subcommittees.
Yeah, this is based off, I think you had made a comment. Yeah, just want to see, so in the past, we used to have on the agenda the list of all of the VAC members, and I think Don wanted to see if we could add that again, but it had to come from you guys. You guys would have to take action. And then also, if you guys wanted to add the subcommittees as well, if you guys did want to do that, if you guys go ahead and push forward, I'll talk to the city clerk and see, because there's a process now where they want everything to be streamlined, like all of the subcommittees need to do everything kind of the same way. The reason, that's initially why I changed it, is because I kind of got some information, because on the minutes, that information is on the minutes, so of who was present and all of that stuff. Then it's on the website, but I get what you're saying to make it a little bit easier. But say you do decide, hey, I want to go forward that way, I'll give her, I'll just ask, hey, can we do this? And then she gives me the yes, then I'll go ahead and re-add those. But that's on you guys. You guys are going to take a vote, I guess.
Yeah, got it. I wasn't aware that there had been a formatting change put out by the city, I'm guessing, so that makes a lot of sense. Excuse me. Yeah, I was looking to see if what the committee thought about putting names onto our minutes here on the front page.
The agenda.
Or the agenda, thank you. Thank you. The agenda, which I think would help with a couple things. One, we automatically know who is on what subcommittee, who's leading that subcommittee. I think it would also help with roll call. Everybody could immediately see that this is who is what and where. So that's just my thought processes on it. If it doesn't go through, it's not a big ordeal.
Okay, let's make a vote on that. So anybody have a motion to add this to the agenda? Have a motion?
Oh, add the.
We add the names to the agenda? Any?
I'd like to add a point in discussion, and I'm standing up because my back hurts, I'm sorry. I think it would be helpful only just for the public to see who's on the subcommittees. That's my opinion, just to have an idea who's on the committee as a whole and what subcommittees they're on. I'm not particular to either, but I would motion to add it to the agenda.
Okay, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
We got a second. Anybody in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? All right, there you go. That action has been approved. All right, moving to, anybody have any questions on that one? Okay, all right, moving to item number 10, discussions and actions on how to contact the VAC members prior to a meeting.
Yeah, and I think this was based off also the, I think last, I was just checking to see if it would be okay. I think I got everybody's number now, and then I'll get Ruben's at the end of here. But if you guys wanted me to, because I send an email out about a week prior, and then I send one probably a couple days. But if it's okay for me to continue to text or call you guys, but you guys make that decision.
Yeah, I thought it was great that you called me yesterday, because I do see your emails, and sometimes I get busy. We all get busy. I forget to respond and say, yep, I'm going to be there in person. So to have you give me a call yesterday, just, hey, man, we got the meeting tomorrow. Yep, I'll be there. Cool. It helped me out a lot.
So do we have a motion to go ahead and continue that?
I'd like to add something or ask a question. So does this mean you're going to be required, or that you will contact us the day before, or what are we establishing?
I can do that, but that's up to you guys. If you want to do it the day before, 2 days before, however you guys feel is best for me to contact you.
So I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or a comment. So you're sending out the emails with the reminders. I know everybody has a cell phone that they can set an alarm or something to where we're not putting everything on Luther to try to remind us of where we're supposed to be. I have a reminder on my phone, so it'll let me know when I have a meeting. So I don't know if that would help.
I agree with that. I do think that there's some accountability that needs to fall on us as well. No matter how many organizations we're a part of, we need to be sure we're keeping track of those meetings. Of course, it is helpful to get another reminder, but I personally think the reminder a week ahead of time suffices.
I agree. I think the phone call was nice, but I put it on my calendar. It's a repeats every month, and I get a reminder, and if I don't show up, that's on me.
I just wanted to make sure he was occupied.
Time to take a vote.
Yes, sir. So it's time to take a vote on that. So do I have a motion to approve?
A motion for what?
So-
For him to call us?
Yes.
Or text us?
Yeah, but I mean, it says right here on the agenda that our next meeting is on the 18th at 10 o'clock. I mean, how much more warning do we need? I mean, I think we're all adults here, right, and responsible. Yeah, I think you have more important things than to be calling us, to be perfectly honest, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. And so we have, do we have anybody, some nays? No nays? How about, you got a nay? Nay. We got one nay.
I say no as well.
Nay.
Nay. I also say nay. Nope. All right. All in favor, say aye. No ayes? Okay.
There's no in favor.
It's disapproved.
So we're all clear, Luther, you will continue to send out the email as part of your normal job and duties?
Yes, sir.
And there's no need for you to contact us after that,
Cool.
prior to the meeting?
Yes, sir.
I talk to you anyway, almost every day, so we're good.
Yes, sir. Let's move to item number 12, discussion, 11, excuse me, a guidance for the annual update to the council.
Yeah, so as you guys know, this year, and we're going to get that changed next year to make sure you guys actually physically get in front of city council, but this year, because of timeline and things that have happened in the past, we're going to do that as just a written presentation. So the employment and mental health subcommittees have kind of, and I think I sent that by email, their document. And so what I'd like to do is, and then they're good with it, when I get the homelessness, what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect that information. I'm going to speak with the city manager's office, and I'm not going to subtract anything, but I want to find out her format. How does she want this submitted? Does she still want it as a presentation format? Does she just want it as just a written document that she can take? But once she gives me the green light of whichever direction they would like to go forward, then I'll come back to you guys, bring that documentation and say, hey, here's how we're going to go forward. Do you guys approve it? And then that will go up. So it shouldn't take long at all. And then just an update with this is that we need to make sure we just do this annually. And so now that we're doing it towards the end of the year, this year, it gives us a lot more time so that we can hone in and focus so that when we do that actual formal presentation to city council, we can make sure that things go well. So.
Thank you,
But I think
Luther.
you guys' stuff, I think from what I've seen already, it's excellent information. So I think it'll go well. Just, I know when myself and Mr. Albright tried to present that the last time, there was a miscommunication where we didn't get into what you guys' stuff was quick enough. We probably went through about 5 to 6 slides of what our department was doing, and that wasn't the point of it. The point of it was to get to what you guys is. So we'll be able to lock that in a lot smoother though. So.
Thank you, sir. Let's move to item number 12. Before we move on, do we have any questions on that topic? Okay, we're going to move to item number 12, Division Veteran and Military Affairs Update.
All right, so Mr. Albright, our chief military officer, he had to step out. He was in a meeting with VA Collaboration earlier today, and then he's in another one where he's going to meet with them, and then the Orange County, California, and it's just about like staffing for the national organizations for veteran and military family members. And then he met with the head of, I think she already left, but she's the leadership at the Blue Star Families. They are moving one of their, like a physical location here, and so he's just kind of getting the details to warm all that up, make sure things go smoothly. The update that we have out of the department is that, of course, we're ramping up. We're at the closing finish line here of our Borderplex Veteran Service Provider Summit. We've got everything in the row except for there's a couple of individuals where I'm trying to tell them they can't go and they're not listening because they're not service providers. But that's September 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be at the Starlight. That's our train-the-trainer session, which is different than our expo. We do those 2 major events each year. One is sort of a tabling event. This one is different. This is where we're going to bring bring in all those service providers and make sure that they understand the resources that are available, best practices, and then share that. And then we have some panels and some vignettes with some subject matter experts. They're going to kind of lead and moderate those discussions. And then next week, we'll have those formal panel meetings with the people that are on those panels, and we'll discuss logistics with them. Next month, the department will be attending the Texas State Homelessness Conference. So in addition to the information that we got from the VA Surge event and then the knowledge that we gained from that, we'll be attending a statewide conference. And then the goal there is to just take that information, whatever the best practices that we can share or get from every single other organization and city and municipality within the state. We're going to gain that information and then bring it back here so we can implement some of that stuff. The other update, Mr. Green let me know that there's a possibility right now that there's in January 1st, 2026, Texas may grant 100% sales tax exemptions for totally disabled veterans and expand property tax relief. So it's still kind of in the process, but I'm going to keep track of that. If anyone else has any additional information to add to that, but that's just kind of the information that I pulled up here pretty quickly. But that would be excellent. If that passes through all the way, that would be huge. And then lastly, I just want to make sure that I just kind of echo what John Martin was saying earlier, that we contacted over. So when we do these surge event or the point in time count, usually we count maybe, like you said, around 180 to 100 to 200 homeless individuals. Just on that 3-day event we just did, we contacted over 300, and we had 40 plus individuals taken off the street during that time. So super effective, highly effective event. And then the VA is going to get the information that they need so that we can get the resources back here. Outside of that, I will save the rest for the upcoming announcements.
The tax exemption has passed and takes effect 1 January.
Excellent, thank you.
And then right now, they have passed a bill to lower the threshold for property tax exemption to 60% disability, but that requires a constitutional amendment to the Texas State Constitution. So that goes to a vote on 5 November.
Okay.
So when you go to the polls, you're voting on allowing disabled veterans with 60% disability or more to be exempt from property tax, which would be big financial relief for a lot of veterans.
Nice, thank you for that.
Good. That's good. So we're going to go ahead and move to item number 13, announcements limited to veteran and military events pertinent to El Paso, Texas region.
So I'll just start really quick because I know everyone was going to add events. Something I really want to stress to you guys is that we're having our Rio Grande Honor Flight. That's next month, September 25th is when they depart, and that's going to be super early in the morning, probably around 6:15 to 6:20. Outside of that, they return the 27th around 4 p.m. Of course, at El Paso International Airport. And then, of course, I know most of you guys know, but anyone listening online or anyone that doesn't know, the Honor Flight is where we take this time it'll just be Vietnam and Korean War veterans to the memorials that were made in their honor in Washington, D.C. And then we, when they come back, we try to give them the welcome home that they didn't get long ago. So it's an excellent event just to show support. We're coordinating with many agencies, the fire department, police department, 1st Armored Division, Fort Bliss in general, the airport, of course, local high schools. And so if you have time, please come out and show support at the departure and the arrival. And then outside of that, our Coffee with Veterans, our next event will be September 4th. That's going to be at El Paso Community College Veteran Resource Center at the Valle Verde campus. And of course, you guys know that Coffee with Veterans event is just sort of an event where we're trying to bring the city resources to different veteran-centric locations, VFWs, DAVs, the Veterans Resource Center for the college. And what that is that we want to highlight those organizations so they can get more traffic. And then also we want to make sure that we touch every part, just like with Veterans at Breakfast and then Vets Breakfast Club, giving that kind of different movement there.
Are you going to send a reminder?
Yeah, there'll be a flyer put out here soon. I'm waiting for, it's 8:30 to 10:30 normally. I'm just waiting for the full green light from EPCC. I got a yes, but I need to get that second confirmed yes.
When does that honor flight depart?
So the departure for the honor flight is September 25th, and it's about 4 a.m., somewhere around there. 4 to 4:15 a.m. is when that would be probably the last time you'll be able to see them. And then the return is September 27th, around 4 p.m. Yeah.
Just a caveat for the honor flight, they get a lot of participation for the veterans coming back, but for leaving, they don't get that much participation. I know it's early in the morning.
That's my gym time.
Myself and Luther, we're there early in the morning to bowl. We be getting it in at 3:45 in the morning, waiting on the buses. So I would say you come out. It's a really good experience.
I'll be there.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any more announcements right now at this time?
And I had one more. Our DAV National Service Officers, they will be coming down to El Paso September 16th. They'll be coming down to do a informational seminar, and right after that, they'll be doing a claims clinic for all veterans in El Paso. We will have the VA that will be there helping with disability claims. We'll also have the county that will be there, and we'll probably have a few vendors. The location will be at 4724 Vulcan at the American Legion Post, number 58. If you've been to Veterans at Breakfast, that's where it will be. We will start promptly at 9 a.m. That's the informational seminar until 10:30. 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we will do the actual claims clinic. And all veterans, if you need help with your disability claims, I would say while you have the DAV, you have the VA, the county, we'll all be in one spot. Come out and get your claims taken care of.
I have a couple of updates or announcements. There's a back-to-work job fair at 915 North Florence, September 4th. Salute to September, that's a job fair held by the Texas Veterans Commission, September 18th, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Armed Forces Center. And Amistad also provides women veteran peer groups. That is open. You can walk in at their location at 3210 Dyer. It's every second Tuesday of the month at 2 p.m., and that's it.
Do we have any more announcements at this time?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
go ahead,
have.
Debo.
Yes. They're having a Fabens Veterans Memorial groundbreaking ceremony. This is their monument to veterans, and they would like for any and everybody to attend if possible. I know it's the first day of the summit, but at least take a moment to come out there, and then you can still go back to the summit if you're part of that. The other thing I have is, I don't know how many are from El Paso, like lived here forever, that new coach Danny, how do you say his name? McKillips, that did the track and field for El Paso High School. One of our members of the Flags Across America, Gloria Nicholson, has made an honorary plaque and doing a ceremony to unveil it on the 10th of September, 5:30 at the El Paso High School, in honor of him and his wife. So if you all could make some time to go and post Bliss. We're doing a remembrance table. Some of you know it as the missing man's table, but we have women in the military that have served, so it's a remembrance table. It's also called the POWMIA table. We're donating one and doing a ceremony at the Flags Across America Old Glory Memorial next Friday, the 29th, at noon. If you all could come and support that. We do a lot of memorial ceremonies there, and I thought it would be appropriate to at least have the table and the setup so that it can be referred to or used in everybody's ceremony that comes to our facility at Flags Across America to do that. And so that's all I have.
Thank you, Debo.
You're welcome.
We have any more announcements at this time?
Yes.
Events?
I forgot about the homeless stand-down. So if you all don't know, the VA will be doing their homeless stand-down September 12th. It'll be at the Montana Reserve Unit. I can't remember the times, Melissa, Luther, if y'all remember. Oh, 7:30? Y'all talk about early. But yeah, it'll be at 7:30. They'll have some good food out there. We got a lot of good stuff to give away to the veterans. So I would say if you can attend, please come out and attend that as well.
Thank you, Greg. Donna?
I just want to, Patriots Day is coming up, remembering 9/11, 8:30 at the Flags Across America. And that will, our American Legion first responder will be Cecilia. She's the commander of the American Legion. She will be a guest speaker along with one of the fire chiefs. 82nd Airborne will be doing presentation of colors. And it's, we just asked everybody to remember and come out. It's a great day. There's other things happening, but 8:30 sharp, we're going to put up the 50 by 100 flag, which is amazing. So unless weather permitting, we'll move it inside. The Heroes on the Water, anyone that just needs to get away, there's only 60 slots. You can bring your mama, you can bring your kids. If you're a veteran, you can bring them, or if you're a first responder. Heroes on the Water on the 28th of September. It's totally free at Elephant Butte. It is designed for self-care. We all need to take care of ourselves. There will be a round robin, kayaking, beach fishing, boating, and a mental health. I think Amistad will be out there again. I did invite Endeavors to be able to have a component of that. And first 60 slots open to our veterans. The day before is when the Elks Lodge will do the homeless to homes. Those that couldn't be a part or really experience that. So the day before we'll be doing the ones that could never really afford it. The next day is for those first 60 veterans in this community. Bring your families, and it is a time to do some self-care. And then lastly, Indian Springs Ranch is a peer-to-peer program for veterans, active duty, their family, dependents, and first responders. First come, first served basis. If you want to go out there for a weekend, no cell phones, you want to ride some horses, and you want to be in nature, it is all about trying to get our mental health in line, and those are available. Just contact Luther, and he'll give you my information, or make sure it's on the website. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. We have any more events at this time? No? Okay.
No events, but I want to congratulate Melissa on the opening of her, that women's event that we did at the museum. I know you want to talk about it. Okay.
Okay, it's an exhibit at the El Paso Museum of History. It's open through the middle of October. Thank you, James.
All right. All right,
Excuse me,
so
Ron.
item number 14.
Ron,
Yes, sir.
can I have permission
Yes,
to
sir.
leave? I need to leave.
Yeah, where's that, sir?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, item number 14 is proposed item for the next meeting. We have anything?
Luther, I have a proposed item for number 7. Aquatic Adventures LLC wants to brief Dive for Vets for a program for veterans to get certified as a scuba diver.
So that was.
That was the email I sent you.
Yeah, okay, so, thank you. So they have a specific veteran thing, too easy, got it. Yes, I'm waiting for, did you want me to reach out to Yvonne?
Oh, no,
or-
she's already confirmed, and so let me get both of y'all on the same email.
Okay, yeah, no, because,
Okay.
yeah, for sure, it's already locked
Okay,
in. It'll
okay.
be VTLC and then the scuba company, I got their name somewhere, but yeah, no, I got it. Okay, perfect, too easy.
Okay.
I have an item. I'd like to propose a discussion on a citywide veteran discount program.
Perfect. That's good. Okay, anybody got anything else they want to add to the agenda for the next meeting? Nope. All right, we're going to go to item number 15. The next VAC meeting is going to be Thursday, September 18th, 2025 at 10 o'clock. Okay. We have a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Anybody, all in favor say aye. Any nays? Okay. Adjourned.